Whether you're doing a dance to your favorite artist in the office parking lot or being guided into Warrior One in the break room before your shift, whether you're running on your Peloton tread at your mom's house while she watches the baby, or counting your breaths on the subway.
More inhaling and long exhale out.
Peloton is for all of us, wherever we are, whenever we need it. Download the free Peloton app today. Peloton app available through free tier or paid subscription starting at $12.99 per month.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tommy's got a little Shohei trivia as we're talking about Ohtani. All right, hit me with it, Tommy.
Okay, so this is really interesting. Who was the last pitcher before Shohei Ohtani in either the American League or the National League to hit 2 home runs and strike out 10 in a single game? The very last one.
Is this in my lifetime?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got 2 guesses at this, and it's not because I remember this happening, but I'm trying to just remember the only 2 that I could think of that were capable. I'll start with Rick Ankiel.
Nope, it was not Rick Ankiel.
The only other one I can think of is Micah Owings.
Nope, wasn't him either. Back in 2019, Zach Greinke hit 2 home runs in a game and struck out 10. And
Now
then
I
it
do
actually
remember
happened. It happened 2 years before that. Madison Bumgarner did the same thing in 2017. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Zach Greinke, I would have never thought. And I don't remember that happening in 2019, hitting 2 home runs and striking out 10.
It's pretty cool. I kind of love Greinke. He and Salvi. I feel so bad for the Royals for those 2 guys. I wonder how much trade value Greinke might have this year.
Probably not much.
Probably not much, but it's one of those, like, could you use a back-end guy or somebody that, you could envision in a pinch in a playoff game? The Royals trade value meter is going to be fascinating. We talked about this earlier this week. I do think it's a seller's market. It's just like there's not much to sell. We had a full discussion on Bobby Witt Jr., which you can go back and listen to from the first hour. But let's exclude him. Salvi certainly has value, but his contract is pricey, and that's where I think you need to see Royals ownership step up financially. Like, if a good package comes back, but you got to eat some salary, and you're going to end up trading him, eat the salary, right? Take the players, eat the salary. Chapman and Barlow stand out to me the most. Of course, Barlow blew a save last night. His ERA is not as stellar as it's been, but I would still imagine he's got some value based on his track record and experience. Chapman obviously does. And again, I wonder if they're not better served going somewhere together than they are separately. But there's just not a lot there this year. Not a lot there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that even though Barlow's ERA is not exactly where you would want it, I think he's got good enough stuff where a contender is going to want to use him down the stretch. And I think that goes back to the conversation about Greinke. Greinke doesn't really have stuff anymore. He's admitted that. I mean, he's got to be creative in the way that he gets guys out. He's not a swing and miss pitcher anymore. He's pitching to contact. He's got to get creative with off-speed stuff. And that's really where, think of the teams that would want a starting pitcher down the stretch. More than likely, they're not going to be willing to give a lot in return for a guy who's nearly 40 that doesn't have, really explosive stuff anymore. And unfortunately, I know that's a knock on Greinke, and I love Zach Greinke, and I love the homecoming back to Kansas City. I just don't see him really garnering much of a return.
The problem for Barlow is you want him to get hot, but I'm looking at his numbers in June, and he's given up a base runner in every appearance, right? A base runner in every appearance. He's allowed runs in 3 out of 7 appearances. If you're trying to if you're trying to get the most out, like the timing on this has not been. And look, there's psychology involved in that, I think, and probably teams. Like, I think wherever he goes, he'll end up handy, and I just hope that the Royals are able to trade to what he normally is versus what he's looked like at times this year. Because if you go back to past years, an ERA the last two of 2.42 and 2.18 and a WHIP that's just one last year at 1.2 the year before. He's not performing at his normal level by any means, and I just it makes you shake your head at why he's not been traded in the last 2 years. It makes absolutely no sense.
I do think that teams are going to be willing to overlook his recent stuff for what he's potentially able to bring to the table. Look at the Dodgers. I know I brought them up a lot on this show, but they view themselves as legitimate contenders. They're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, and they have one of the worst bullpens in baseball. That's their Achilles heel. Their bullpen ERA is 4.64. And so I'm not saying that Barlow's going to be at the top of their wish list. There's probably other relievers out there. But I think that at this point, they're willing to try to grab some other relievers. Even though Barlow, hasn't had great stuff recently, I think they're going to be willing to look at his potential and, maybe hoping to help out that much maligned bullpen. They're not the only team. I mean, look at your Rangers, for example. Their bullpen is over 4. There are other teams, the Diamondbacks, their bullpen ERA is over 4. So there are going to be teams that are going to be looking for bullpen help. And even though Barlow's numbers recently haven't been great, he's got the stuff to make all of these teams, their bullpens much better.
So if Philadelphia is in, a contender, which they probably think that they are, their bullpen hasn't been very good either. Of the contenders, Milwaukee's bullpen could use a little bit of help. Miami, Cincinnati, Boston. Tampa's has been pretty good. If I go to the Yankees, has been great. The Padres, Seattle, fine. The Angels are fine. The Braves are fine. The Astros are fine. Baltimore's probably okay. But there are a lot of teams that need bullpen help, and a lot of teams that think they can win a World Series.
A lot of teams that feel like that's really the only thing standing between them and being legitimate contenders is the bullpen. And so that's where, if I'm the Royals, if I'm J.J. Picollo, I'm interested in trading the young stars if the price is right, but I'm putting Aroldis Chapman and Scott Barlow on a silver platter to these teams. Like, hey, give us some value back. We will move them right now if we can get great value and be able to start helping our farm system again.
Yeah, it's just get it right. You got to get it right. And we do need at some point, and maybe we'll bring in one of their minor league insiders to better help us understand it. I want to know how anything they brought back last year has worked too. So definitely want to do that as well. We'll try to get that on this summer and look at that. But the trade deadline is going to be the most interesting part of the Royals season, I think. So we'll just have to see it. 869-1240. We'll come back. We'll tell you what's on tap on the network today as Sports Daily returns.
Hey, y'all, it's Garth, the Big 615. You're going to hear the newest that country music has to offer. At the same time, you're going to hear the newest that the country classics have to offer. I want to hear the new single from George Strait, and I want to hear it right beside the new single from Luke Combs. That's the thing we call the Big 615.
Download the free TuneIn app from the App Store. That's TuneIn. Or ask your device to play the Big 615 on TuneIn.
Life comes with a lot of decisions, and it can be hard to know the right path sometimes. A therapist can help you map out what you really want, so you trust yourself to make great choices and feel excited about the future. BetterHelp offers convenient professional online therapy on your schedule, however you want it, by phone, chat, or video call. Let therapy be your map with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/positive.
Looking for an adventure? Find yours in a Toyota. Like a Camry with stylish design and a reputation for reliability that can't be beat. Or go with a Corolla, both affordable and capable. With so many trims and features to choose from. Or check out the new Crown, presenting you with luxurious style and elegant amenities to make your day a breeze. No matter your adventure, Toyota has you covered. Visit buyatoyota.com for more. Toyota, let's go places.